Richard Holdner here for Speed Secrets. Today, working with our friends at FAST, we set up a test between the factory 5.3 liter truck manifold and the FAST LSXR. Now we know from previous testing that FAST manifold is tough to beat. In fact, the wilder the combination, the greater the power gains. So the question today was, how well would it work on a milder 5.3 liter? To find out, we set up a test. Some tests happen by design, while others happen by accident. This particular test, comparing the stock 5.3 liter intake to the FAST LSXR, actually happened by accident. You see, the guys from Strictly Performance supplied us with a 5.3 liter test motor. This test motor featured an augmented stock bottom end with ported heads. Now, we had already installed a healthy camshaft, so now our combination had two of what we call the big three. The big three includes heads, cam, and intake. And because our combination already had heads and cam, the only thing missing was an intake. So let's find out what happens when we upgrade the intake on a modified 5.3. To get things started, we installed our test motor up on the dyno. It was first configured with the factory truck intake and factory throttle body. Naturally, each combination was tuned to maximize the power output with each manifold. With our truck manifold ready to go, let's make some noise! Equipped with that factory truck intake, our modified 5.3 liter produced 476 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 424 foot-pounds of torque at 5,400 RPM. Those are some pretty good numbers for a mildly modified 5.3 liter. Now that we've run the truck intake, it's time for the FAST. After running the factory truck intake, it was swapped out in favor of a FAST LSXR. Now that 102mm FAST LSXR was installed with a matching 102mm big mouth throttle body. With the throttle body and intake installed and ready to go, let's make some noise! Equipped with that FAST LSXR intake, the power output of our 5.3 liter jumped from 476 horsepower and 424 foot-pounds all the way up to 501 horsepower and 432 foot-pounds of torque. That's right, our little 5.3 liter exceeded 500 horsepower. Those are some pretty big numbers. And guess what? We improved those numbers up to 509 horsepower with a radius entry and a little more tweaking. But even at just 501 horsepower, the FAST manifold improved the power output by 25 horsepower. It just goes to show you what happens when you combine the big three: heads, cam, and of course, the right intake. I'm Richard Holdner. That's all the time I have. I want to thank the guys at FAST. Join me next time on Speed Secrets.